Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Good, happy Saturday to all of you, our wonderful viewers. Thank you for tuning in today. I am your host, Apostle Victoria Scott, all the way from Dallas, Texas, welcoming you on this incredible day. We are celebrating Blog Talks Radio of 14 years in the business. We have two incredible co-founders joining me today, and we're going to talk about how it all started and how it is going. We are in for a treat today. The ones who are usually asking the questions are in my hot seat today, and it is such an honor to have them. Well, before I invite them on, I'd like for us to just play a video for you celebrating 14 years in a Zambia Blog Talk Radio. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this. Thank you so much. How exciting. You know, it's amazing how much time flies when you are having so much fun. Well, without further ado, I'm going to invite these gentlemen. But first, I wanted to, just share a little bit about who they are. They are familiar faces to you. You know them, Pastor Nathan Nkama and Mr. Roger Charlie, who have been doing this so diligently, faithfully for 14 years. These are incredible men who are touching so many lives. They are, to know them and to meet these men is to find out why you love Zambia. They're so genuine, they're so authentic. They have a heart for people all across the world. They have a love for God. They are just genuine, wonderful men that you are so proud, to call yourself Zambian once you know that you are connected to them and once you have met them. So we're going to be inviting them, but just a little bit for those who don't know them. Mr. Roger Charlie is the producer and presenter at Zambia Blog Talk Radio Open Forum program. He's the a co-founder member of the organization. And he is the interim chair of Global Core Cooperative, a Zambian organization created to mobilize members of the diaspora to invest in the homeland. He seeks to find answers to why the Zambian mineral wealth does not benefit Zambians as it should be. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to come back and guest host on that at some point. That is so exciting. Reverend Nathan is also an ordained minister and a Bible teacher. He's passionate about leadership, youth mentorship, and African diaspora advocacy. 14 years ago, he was a part of a team of Zambians in the diaspora who founded an online talk show whose objective was to engage and highlight issues of governance and development to the continent of Africa and especially their homeland, Zambia. He's married to his wife, Gladys, and together they have 2 adult daughters. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Reverend Nathan and Mr. Roger to the platform. We are so pleased to have you here this morning, and happy anniversary to Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know why I'm so nervous.
You shouldn't be. I promise I'll be kind.
Okay, I'll relax.
Yes. No, we are so grateful for all that you have done and continue to do. So I know our audience is excited to just know how this all began and where it started. So I'm going to ask the both of you, whoever can go first, that's fine. Take us back to 14, 15 years ago. You're probably having 16 hours tea and this idea pops in. Let's do this. How did this discussion come about? How did Blog Talk Radio get birthed?
It's a simple story, actually. At one point, like we were joking, Apostle, we were part of a radio program. Zoom or COVID by then was not even in the goal.
Yes.
So we were doing radio. Yeah, so we used to be part of a team with our friend in New Jersey. But at one point, we decided 14 years ago, I think we needed a bigger platform which represented the entire community. So that is how we started. We called each other, we need to call Zambia Blog Talk Radio. The rest is history, as I said.
The rest is history.
And actually what happened is that, like Roger said, he's the one who actually made that call, Apostle Victoria.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. This man is very humble, and we, at times like
I don't know about that.
You both really are.
When that word is used to me, on me, Roger, humble, I'm like, I don't know about that. Really? Okay, back to the actually, Roger made the call, and he was like, guys, I've got this idea, okay? And where we should be sort of like dive more into issues concerning especially our country, Zambia. And I mean, Africa is a connected community.
Yes.
We don't look at each other that way. Not to change a number, if I may use a Zambian expression.
Yes.
So we said everything concerning Africa is interrelated and interconnected. So he made the call so that we could just deal with issues highlighting Zambia. And the other issue is that he made it very clear to say it shouldn't be about individuals or an individual. It should be about the issues, okay? Yeah. And that's why actually we even came up with the name Zambia Blog Talk Radio, because we wanted to stay away from the concept of it being about us rather than the issues that we're addressing. And of course, we thought that that way the name would also highlight what we are about. You are a Bible teacher, you know what? A name has got everything to do with what you're doing.
Yes.
That's how part of the side of the story, how this all started.
That's wonderful. And for us looking at you, what I just heard you say, you have accomplished that, because it wasn't about, like you said, not making it about you. When I see what you have done, this is like that 7 Mountains of Influence initiative. You've had people from government to education to family coming here talking about, various issues, like you have said, and so there was something for everyone. So I'm sure as you had started, when we see the glitz and the glamour and everything, but I know there were some bumps on the way. What were some challenges that you faced? I'll ask you first, Reverend Nathan, fondly known to me as Uncle Nathan. What are some of the challenges you faced?
Some of the challenges we faced, of course, and To be transparent, and this is one thing as African people we need to learn, is to speak truthfully and openly. Okay, navigating around the issues of just ourselves getting along. You know what I'm saying? These are strangers, so to speak, and it wasn't really a major challenge, but just navigating the issue of getting along, coordinating issues, getting to know what Roger's strengths were, getting to know what Titus's strengths were, getting to know what Nathan's strengths were, getting to know what Beston's strengths were. And along the way, we butted heads, we bumped into we bumped each other, and yeah, that's basically what I would say from that point of view. But along the way, we found our footing, and we were on course.
So wonderful. How about you, Mr. Roger?
Yeah, well, part of the challenge when we started was dealing with guests in Zambia.
Yes.
It was, you have this wonderful program you have put together. Come Saturday morning, 7 o'clock, the guest is not picking up the phone call. As people who are not experienced, you get confused.
Yeah.
And it used to be a nightmare over time. It used to be a nightmare. I remember a certain story. Honorable Minister Ruvinda was a minister of sport. And we arranged with him. He was going to be on the phone. We made all the announcements. Honorable Ruvinda, on Saturday, I make a call. We want to connect you to the radio. He says, I'm in a football stadium. I'm watching football.
Oh.
I always remember that, you know. And when he answered the phone, you know, when he answered the phone, we could even hear in the background.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we're supposed
to.
I know.
I was talking, confirming with you yesterday on Friday.
Oh my goodness.
I was confirming with you, and you said so. Programming was kind of a little bit tricky.
Yes.
But over time, I think we go, like Nathan said, we gained our confidence, our footing. Guest or no guest, you probably will not even tell. We didn't have, we don't have a guest today. We will tell you that our guest is not ready, but whatever followed just came in. And these are some of the things which can easily be forgotten when you've come this far. Yes,
right.
You can easily forget them. Yeah. But they really told us. The platform we used to use also was a problem sometimes.
Yes.
Come Saturday, the platform will not letting anyone when you call it.
Because you had the phones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So the platform could be. Now today you have StreamYard, you have Zoom. There was only calling phone.
That's all there was. I know, and it feels like, I'm telling you, as if we're speaking of it 30, 40 years ago, and it's just in the last, 14 years?
14,
oh
just
my
the last
goodness.
14 years, how things have changed.
I know, so amazing, because I remember towards the beginning, we would call in, and then I remember one Saturday, Uncle Nathan said to me, no, go on Facebook. I was like, whoa, okay, yes. My uncle's with the times. This is so awesome. So I'm going to ask each of you a separate question because I know there's just so much that we can cover. So to Uncle Charlie, what has been your greatest aha moment in these 14 years where you just go, wow? I'm sure there have been many, but maybe share one with us.
Yeah. Yes, like you've said, one of the long and program I think we used to do on this radio was when we covered Zambian districts, when we went into the analysis of districts. What we were finding out, I remember one time we covered the Kalomo district. Kalomo district, this man came, he tells us the teachers in Kalomo, they walk on foot to go to Kalomo town to go and get paid. So it takes them 1 week to walk from the village to town. 1 week. And then they get to town Kalomo and get into the bus. They go to Mwango to get paid. And then they come another 1 week to walk back to the village. What we did was, so there are students who are seated in Zambia. Today, I don't think the things that has changed. 2 weeks without a teacher.
Oh my goodness.
It was, and that was a story we went in from, we were mostly in the rural district. We went from district to district. It was, I would say, I don't know, breathtaking or aha moment, but it has really left a mark on us in everything we have done.
Wow. That is so, I mean, just to even know that those kind of situations are going on. And I'm sure what it did for the viewers even then was to, render support and see how they can help, because, that's what I love about this program, the awareness that it's bringing.
Yes.
Things that information we wouldn't maybe easily have access to, you're bringing that to us, and we're making Zambia better. So I continue to applaud you for that, gentlemen. Reverend Nathan, I know that you've had a plethora of guests, myself included, and these people are all dynamic in their own right, and it's hard to pick a favorite. So, but I'll ask you, maybe you don't have to put a name if you don't want to, but maybe was there a guest or two that you're like, wow, you can't add me because I'm your niece, but was there?
What if it's you? What?
No, okay, other than me.
Okay, other than you.
I'm in the top 5.
You see?
Was there a guest that just blew you away, that you just enjoyed? I know you've enjoyed everyone.
I have 3. I'll give you 3. Like Roger said, doing this has really brought out a lot of things, and there's a lot you get to learn to know that you think you knew about Zambia. But there's a lot. To your question, the first one I'll point out to you is when we had a gentleman called Mr. Chileshe Mubanga. Mr. Chileshe Mubanga is a farmer. Mom is going to be happy to hear this one. He's a farmer in Mporokoso. There is a stream that passes through his farm. Do you know what Mr. Chileshe has done? He has harnessed that water, and he generates electricity from the stream.
Wow.
This guy is not a college or university graduate.
What?
If I could find the pictures, I wish I could have found you. It's like he put together rims of vehicles, and he took some strings and stuff like that, and he generates electricity from the stream that passes through his farm. I can't remember the megawatts, but it's just a small number. But to me, that was like Roger said about the districts. This story is coming from Mporokoso. For those who are not Zambian, this is a town in northern part of the country. It's not a major city. And to me, that was one of the highlights of the show, to say this is, and the bureaucracy that is in our country. He tried to reach out to the electricity company in our country, ZESCO, but they were not just interested. And the second one I'll say is Mr. Frankie Motovla. The reason I mentioned Mr. Frankie Motovla as one of those guests who stand out to me is he said it himself. He doesn't do interviews. And can you believe that him featuring on Zambia Blog Talk Radio was the only other interview he did in his career apart from being on BBC?
What? I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So you see, when a person like that agrees to feature on your talk show, you are looking at it like, look, for us, we just look at it like this is just something exciting we enjoy doing. And then the person like that agreed to come on your show. And let me also throw in this point here is like, thanks to our good friends, supporters behind the scenes, a good friend of us, Chasaya in Canada, we call him the Apostle of Zambia Blog Talk Radio. He's the one who organized that show with Mr. Motovla. So Mr. Motovla, then finally, let me not take too much time. When we spoke to the young people, kids in the diaspora, I think it was it was Esther Chilundika, Manasseh, Bartholomew, and Mapalo, a 10-year-old boy, I think. Yeah, I think he was 9 by then. He's a YouTuber, a 9-year-old boy.
Amazing.
So that, to me, those are the 3 shows that they, like you said, there are many, but I'll just give you those 3.
Exactly. Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. You know, this just the how exciting for the you know, how many people you've gotten to meet, you know, and from all walks of life, and how they touch our lives, and just as much as they touched yours, they touched ours. So just real quick, I just want to give some feedback here with what our audience is saying. Winnie Musonda Malumbo says, 14 years, congratulations. Evangelist Margaret Chapoloko, my mom, says, happy anniversary, guys. Congratulations. My husband, Mr. Will Scott, says, congratulations. Mr. Gregory Mwanza says, congratulations, well deserved, great platform indeed. Oh yeah, they're showing up for us. And Derek and Alice Chibulu say, happy 14th anniversary. Tichiwe, I hope I said that correctly. I'm so sorry. Chihana says, we love you. Congratulations. And Mundia Hakula says, great show. So thank you, everybody. Just wanted to show you the love that's coming in already. So some other questions, you know, we've been talking about who you have met, you know, how it all started. I wanted to find out, you know, for you know, being in media and the way that you've been doing this for a while, I have seen your consistency and how every Saturday you come back. I know there were moments where you were like, oh, not this Saturday, but you kept on coming on. And I think that is such a powerful thing for our generation to see. What is the secret to consistency? What made you continue coming back every Saturday, no matter what?
If I have to start again, it is, I think some of us took the love for Zambia very personal.
Yes.
Some people even got tired of me talking about how Lusaka is so developed and everyone else is like they live in a different country. So it became almost a personal call to each one of us. We compare our lives here in diaspora. We look at these people. There are people like us. How have they managed to have every child in school? We go to the hospital. There is medicine for them. How have they managed to have these amenities around them? Meaning, every time, whether I'm going to work, I'm coming from work, I'm visiting my local church, there is that little light bulb saying, why not Zambia? Always, why not Zambia? So, in the past 14 years, whatever time, maybe 23 years I've been here in diaspora, that question has been very, very consistent. So, waking up every Saturday, therefore, didn't become a struggle because it is almost like you are now fighting. I just want a better Zambia. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. And I hope we've done our part, and others will pick it up from there, and we can deliver a Zambia we want, as they say.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Your insights on that, Reverend Nathan?
Love of country. Love of country. Like my friend has said here, it's like you look at even what somebody may say, the smallest and the simplest of things, and you realize that unacceptable. This is unacceptable. You know, we can do something about this. I'm reminded of a lady who spoke about the fact that from the time of Dr. Kahunda's leadership in those days to present time, there is a certain crossing point in Northwestern Province. I'm trying to remember the name of the town. All they can put there is just a footbridge.
Wow.
And you see, this person is bringing out this info. When somebody tells you something like that, Dr. Scott, it means it matters to them.
You're right, exactly.
It bothers them.
Right.
Can you imagine for so many years, there's no bridge on a very simple stream. And this lady has got grown children today. She says from the time she was a child going to school, she remembers walking over that stream. To date, there's no bridge. There's nothing there.
That's
the concept sad. Also, the concept of connecting with people, like you pointed out at the beginning of the show, the number of people that we have met doing this and connecting, people of like-mindedness. You are like, oh, it's good to know that I'm not the only one this is bothering. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I remember when we had Doris Leah here, Roger, you remember when she came on, when she was minister, and she's like, you people need to visit. Zambia is developed. Zambia is what? So to Roger's argument where you say, when you're talking about Zambia being developed, you're talking about Lusaka. If I go to Mwinilunga today, Mwinilunga still looks like the way it looked 20, 30 years ago. So don't tell me about Zambia. Now I'm starting. Don't tell me about Zambia being developed because Mwapanga 14, 15 flyover bridges in Lusaka.
In Lusaka, yeah.
Tell me how Mwinilunga, Chadiza, how those places are looking today compared to 30, 40 years ago. And then what has kept us going for the 14 years, waking up, the support from the family, friends, and just when you meet people, they tell you that they appreciate what you're doing.
Yes.
And, you know, it goes a long way. We are all married. All of us who are married, you know. I mean, if you think something is not insignificant, Dr. Scott, and then you just hear Will ask you about it, what does that do to you?
Right.
You know, I'm like, Roger and I are thinking we are in this by ourselves. And our wives, my wife is like, so what are you having on the show tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow, yeah, you're interested too. That's awesome. Yeah, exactly.
That keeps you going.
Motivating. Yes, yes, that's wonderful. And I'm gonna slide this one in there.
Just throw in a comment. Our third, when we started, our third guest was Karusha Wali. Karusha Wali told us one thing. He said, what people don't understand about the people who live in diaspora, you are more patriotic than probably people are back home.
Yeah.
Come on, say that again. Yes, we are. We any chance that we can get to tell people about Zambia, that we are Zambian, from the time we open up our mouth, we are celebrating and promoting Zambia as much as we can. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. And for both of you, 30 seconds each before we go to our commercial break. I know this is going to be a big question, but what have you learned about yourself? Because in 14 years of doing radio, there must be something that you have learned about yourself that you can say, you know what, I didn't know I have that in me, and I found it out doing this. 30 seconds each. 20, actually.
Wow.
Reverend Nathan, boom, go.
How much I love my country.
Wonderful. I love it.
Just how much I love my country. It's even difficult to put it in words. And you know, where we live, you find people here are so excited about them being from, you know, the part of the country they come from, their heritage, their history. I'm rushing because you say 20 seconds.
Yes.
How I love my country, and how it just, for some reason, it just dawned on me to say, you know, my mother is a Bemba from Mporokoso, and I'm so proud of that. And my dad is a Tumbuka, and it just resonates to me to say, whoa, I'm this special crossbreed.
Yes.
Nothing beats that.
Called Zambia. Amen. Wonderful. Uncle Charlie.
14 years, Dr. Scott has taught me that, I can also be consistent. I am kind of a person who is on something new every time. Every time something new. So I've said, I told my wife, ZBTR is the only one thing, the entire life of me.
Wow.
Where I've been consistent there every day. I'm not moved. ZBTR. One thing.
Yes.
So I hope the new movement we are starting, those who will be joining us, the global, I can be as consistent, because I don't know, my mind just flies with stuff all the time. And I find myself in another stream, and another stream, and another stream. But ZBTR has taught me that, Roger, you can be consistent.
Yeah.
I love
push
that.
yourself, just to push yourself.
You know?
Like you said, there are times you feel like, oh Lord, it's Saturday, can't I just sleep in?
Right.
And then you just say to yourself, no, I'm not sleeping in until that bridge is built on that stream.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. I applaud you both. Well, I know we've got more to talk about, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll carry on when we get back. Beautiful. Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to do something here. I didn't ask the two gentlemen this because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying no, because I know them, and as they trust me, they are so humble, they would have said no. So I said, no, let's do this. Can you join me today? If you're just joining us, we are celebrating 14 years of Zambian Blog Talk Radio. But listen, these are two gentlemen who maybe every now and then they'll get to sleep in on Saturday, but it looks like for the last 14 years, they have been on the show and they love what they're doing and they're passionate for Zambia. I wanted us to just shower them, not just with verbal appreciation, but let's give them a little something. I know they would never ask for this and they would have had said no, but I want you to join me with my family. We're going to be giving them some gift cards today to bless them and say thank you for what they have been doing. I'm going to ask for their information so that we can post it on here for those of you who want to do Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, money order, World Remit. It's all available for you. Just to say thank you. And listen, no amount is too small. You know, my mom always says, if you wait to have enough, you are never going to give. Get them, say, this is for a cup of coffee, Uncle Roger. This is for a cup of tea this week, Uncle Nathan. send in something, even if it's $1. I just want you to just show some kind of appreciation for them. We're going to be getting that information up on the screen. And also too, I'll see that we can post it on the Blog Talk Radio afterwards to see how you can bless them financially as well. Say thank you financially, those of you who don't know the church lingo, but would you join me in doing this with them? My family has 2 gift certificates for you, uncles, to enjoy and just to say thank you for what you have been doing. So
wow.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you. Thank
Wow,
you.
it's
I didn't ask you before because I knew you would say no.
You know us too well.
So yes, if you can please get that information to me, uncles, or put it in our Facebook Blog Talk Radio forum. If you can do that for us, and we will make sure that the people get that information. So okay, so continuing on with our with you being in the hot seat today, for being in this for the last couple of years, I'm sure when COVID came, it didn't really kind of shift things in direction for you because you were already doing this. So what kind of changes did you see? I think for you when COVID came, did you see a greater shift for the appreciation of Blog Talk Radio? Did you see greater audience coming in? What happened 2 years ago when COVID hit?
I wouldn't lie. We didn't see a much shift, but we in the audience that is.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a show on here when COVID came, and our discussion on COVID was how much connected as human beings we are. COVID came in the times of the Trump of this world. They were trying to build a wall in the Texas area where you are so that Mexicans cannot come. However, COVID said, you know what? I don't care if there is a war, there is a this. I can move from Mexico to America in a second. I can move from China to here in the second. So COVID may not have really changed, but for the show, Dr. Scott, it really told us how much humans we resist. I don't know if I would say God's connection. We are connected. It had to take a small virus to make us realize that. And even after that, I think we'll still forget. But that's what COVID, if you ask me what the experience of COVID has done for me and for the radio, it is to bring that connection together. We in the diaspora, especially. Diaspora, Dr. Scott, we have, we know we have the potential to change things back home. But we have said, me, I cannot work with that one. But COVID just told me that, yeah, you don't want to talk to Nathan? I can move COVID from Nathan to you in 1 second. And what are you going to do about it? You are probably going even to die. So I hope going forward, we've learned something, that we are a connected people.
Exactly.
And we are connected for a purpose.
Right.
I hope we can build. We can build from there. So that's what I would say when COVID hit us.
Excellent. Excellent.
I think what I would say to add on to what Roger said is that what COVID did in relation to what we have been doing, the talk show, is that it brought about a greater appreciation for people that support you, that especially those behind the scenes, because we are all going to appreciate that it highlighted certain people in our community and in our lives. It's not a secret. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, it brought a great, I mean, here just came up. Number one, he himself, Roger, pushed me to be more on the techs, on IT stuff, you know. They always laugh at me, but it's okay. I'm proud of my move heritage. So Roger is one of those who pushed me on this high-tech issue survey. You have to be, you know, to maneuver yourself around. Then, of course, to the greater community, Davis Chirwa. I mean, he also just like came out and encouraged us on this.
Wow.
And I'm going to emphasize the point of bringing out those people that are behind the scenes. That draw that line. I say that because, you see, when people see this, okay?
Right.
But it's important to appreciate those that are behind the scenes and do things.
Yes.
Okay, Derek and his wife is one of those who has put a congratulatory message there. A lot of people don't know how much Derek puts into this.
Come on.
It's not just Nathan and Roger talking.
Right,
it's about what the friends behind the scenes are doing.
Yes.
You see, all these jingle night people things making us look nice. Even a clip today playing 14 years. Those are things that Derek has done.
Right.
But do people know who Derek is? They see this. But it's important for us to appreciate. There are all these things we saw on TV, you know, the so-called the networks talking about what COVID has done. This is what COVID has done for us. It brought out our tech savvy friends, and they bumped us and they pushed us, and they're like, you need to do this. You need to remember we started with Zoom. We started with Zoom, right? And we at that moment, Roger and I were like, you know what? Navigating the tech thing, and we said no. StreamYard is more what? It's like you're having this conversation. Then somebody who's not part of the conversation from outside the two of you just comes and says, guys, have you thought about considering StreamYard?
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
That's where the Pentecostals say, now the Lord is speaking, right?
And I love that you touched on that, because that was actually going to be one of my questions. So you've answered it for us, which was, you know, we see lights, camera, action, boom, we're on. What does it take though behind the scenes? What are the behind the scenes people, the moving parts? So thank you for addressing that, because, you know, it's easy to just call Blog Talk Radio this when there are people behind who are making sure that every intricate detail is thought of, from the flyers to the lighting to the jingles.
Let me just throw in a point there. Yes. Now we are talking about the behind the scenes thing. I mentioned that one of the highlights or guests that stand out, I told you that was one of our friends, somebody who's passionate. I think Josiah is more passionate about this than even Roger and I are.
Wow.
You see, we are friends like that, Dr. Scott.
Yes.
And the reason I'm mentioning that is that people just see this. A lot of guests that have come on this show is not as a result of me, Roger, Titus, and the team. It's because of the friends behind the scenes.
Yes.
Okay? They'll tell you, hey, you guys, would you like to have Frankie Motovla? You guys, would you like to have Kalusha? You guys, would you like to do, you know? And then somebody says, hey, don't you think Ernest Chongo's story about what he went through with the liver thing is something that you need to talk about on the show, and it will help a lot of people? I'm mentioning these guests and the people that brought them or helped us get connected to them. They know themselves.
Wow.
This is a community effort. And that has always been our concept of Dr. Scott. It's a community project. It's a community platform. If we are just the drivers.
Yes.
We stop at a gas station, you know, Musaba puts in gas. We keep going. We have a tire best. We stop. Dr. Patrick says we can buy a new tire. We change the tire. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do.
You know, we have issues here and there. And Akazi jumps in. Yareka.
Yes.
It's a
It's teamwork.
It's
you know, and I think that is so awesome, because I think in this culture that we are in, especially as cultures are blending, there's a lot of this individualistic, I can do it, I can, and at some point burnout comes. So I think the testament that we're hearing from here is get a great team, because you push each other and you encourage each other. So yeah, that's so awesome. So what are some of the goals for the next 5 years? What are you passionate? What do you want to see? Where do you want to see this blog, radio show in the next 5 years? We'll start with you, Mr. Roger.
14 years tells you we are approaching retirement. Whether we can say we have run our race, we don't know. But one of the projects we want really to do is to have young people who can pick up and take it to another level.
Yes.
There is so much, Dr. Scott. Again, like we have said, we have learned on this radio. Polokoso, where you come from, we did a show. Polokoso and Kasama, the distance is between same as Lusaka and Kapirimposh.
Oh, yeah.
By the time we did a show on Polokoso, there was no gas station. So the people in Polokoso were going to Kasama to buy gas. Now you imagine Kapiri and Lusaka. But I think things have changed. Things have changed now. But the greater question is what we have learned over time. Now,
yes,
we are thankful. So some of the programs we did here, again, whether you go to Polokoso, you go to Kasempa, you go to this place, one common thing, there was no bank. So how do people do a common small business? Within the year we were doing the program, Bank of Zambia announced that they were going to open small banks in all rural areas. We got it as a small plus for ourselves. We were ecstatic about it. The greater question is the questions we have tried to ask on the radio, the questions we have tried to answer on the radio. When 14 years of our time will expire, are those going to remain unanswered, or are we getting ready in the next 5 years, 10 years to have young people who will take up those questions and give us the answers we need?
That's excellent.
That is going to be our project, or we will define our success or our failure. If those questions remain unanswered and hanging, because we didn't pass on the mantle to the next generation, that will mean, to me, it will mean our success or our failure. So we hope either people who are going to create other platforms take them up and say, okay, we are not going to ask the same questions. Now we are going to build banks. Now we are going to make sure this is done in Polokoso. We are going to make sure electricity is. I think that is going to be our next project in the next 5 years. Building a team which takes away what we've been doing in the past 14 years, 20 years, which takes our work further. So that will define us, whether we are going to say we are winners or failures. To me, building the next team will be very, very critical.
That's powerful. I love that. I love that, Uncle Roger. Passing on the baton, not leaving with it, but passing it on. I absolutely love that. Uncle Nathan?
To Roger's point, we want everybody to get used to seeing Kasulova.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody, we are just going to tell you, get used to seeing Kasulova and the team that Kasulova is going to build. That's what we are going to say. Of course, growing our audience on social media platforms We want to take this to greater heights, greater levels, and continue supporting worthy projects like we have done in the past 14 years, feeding street kids. We've supported non-profit organizations over the years, feeding street kids. People don't even know there was a woman who gave birth to how many children, Roger? 11?
God bless her.
Was it 11?
Quintuplets. What do you call that?
Was that 8 or something like that?
What's quintuplets?
I don't even know. My brain.
We fundraised for a lady who gave birth to a quintuplets, and we raised the funds on the platform.
Wow.
And all I don't know how many diaper. I think it was like a lot of money. I can't remember exactly. The then Vice President of Zambia was part of it. She officially accepted the gift on behalf of the family and gave it to her. We shall continue on that route, feeding, taking part. Last Christmas, we've done Christmas projects. This time we did Matero, Old People's Home. Is that right, Roger? We raised money, put money together to give a Christmas meal to the people at Old People's Home in Matero. We'll continue to do projects like that. Just a little contribution in our own small way. That has always been our expression. Yeah. We are not looking at doing $1 million projects, but just making a difference here and there, here and there.
You're making million dollar moves. You are definitely doing that.
That's it. That's it. I mean, like a few weeks ago, friends and partners of this show contributed to being part of a youth mentorship program with my Zambia My Responsibility. Just $20 contributions. Wow. And we were able to sponsor 20-25 young men to be able to participate in that program. Things like that. We shall continue to do that. ZBTR has been responsible for spearheading and initiating some investment projects. Okay, we don't blow that. We just want to work. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said in the opening remarks, that this is not about individuals or personalities. This is about the love of country. Yeah. So
and it's so evident. It's so evident. Yeah, Mom says some of the programs you did made government do something in certain areas of the forgotten parts of Zambia. I mean, that's huge. That's huge that you have accomplished this. So we salute you. We salute you.
Actually, Nathan there has mentioned, did you say something about Christmas? So last Christmas, yes, we fed the elderly in Matero. But
beautiful.
Dr. Scott, we learned quite a bit last Christmas, which Young Kasulova and I are already discussing what we will do next Christmas. Number one thing we learned was Senegal is a 90% Muslim country, but they celebrate Christmas like Christians.
Wow.
It was very, 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 very surprising.
I didn't know that.
And then we ventured into these Eastern Asian countries where they know God very little. How they lighten up the mood to see how streets are lighted. Celebration of Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So we said with Young Kasulova, our Zambia, where we proclaim Jesus Christ is the son of this country. But we are not lifting him up. So this Christmas, ZBTR Open Forum Program will be inviting people. Adopt a tree. We are going to lighten up one street in Lusaka.
I love that.
Adopt a tree. Buy Christmas lights. We'll put on there. Let's bring the mood of. So these are some of the projects I think going forward. We are going to be asking you, our listeners, Dr. Scott, to be part of. Let's lighten up the mood. Let's show it like we love our Jesus.
Yes, I love that. Definitely want to be a part of that. Let us know. We'll be keeping our eyes open for that. Share with us real quick some of your funniest moments. I mean, moments where it was just like, well, whether it was with a guest, it was behind the scenes. Funniest moments.
Funniest moments. They show our first guest, right?
Uh-huh.
You know why it was the funniest moment?
Uh-huh.
Because he took over the show, and you won't be surprised when I mention his name. He took over the show. You remember Mr. Dennis Liwewe? He took over the show.
Oh,
there you
That
go.
was the funniest moment
Our
on the
nation's
show.
grandfather.
Yeah. Our late uncle Dennis Liwewe. He
Yes,
took over the
God
show.
bless
And he
him.
even started doing a commentary on the show.
Oh no, I love it. I hope it. Oh,
We laughed so hard that I don't think we've laughed that hard like we did that day.
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
I agree with that.
gosh, I love it. I wish it was recorded. Was it recorded in any way?
We have a recording of it. We need to play it sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
we have
good.
recordings. And on that show, he gave us a commentary and he signed off. And he stopped. He put down the
And
phone.
he stopped.
No, Dennis, don't go.
Don't go. We had to call him
done.
back.
Drop mic, I'm out.
That
That's
was the
his
funniest
style.
moment.
Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. I'm telling you, Zambia has got such rich character and culture. So real quick as we're winding up, what advice would you give to someone venturing into radio and media?
Well, one of the things we talked about was being consistent. It is not easy. Let's begin with that. It is not easy. When you put down the phone on Saturday or you finish the radio program, the next show starts that minute. You start within your brain. What am I bringing next week? What am I going to bring on the show? On Monday, you've got it. Come Thursday, the topics and the subjects have changed. That's just how life is. So to those who want to start this, my humble opinion, if you are going to be struggling to do the show, probably don't do it. It can be excruciating. If you love to do what we have been doing for the last 40, you can feel it. I love this thing and I'm going to do it. Yes. Don't struggle. If you struggle, I'm not sure, Dr. Scott, what I should say to a person who is going to struggle when we start this. Otherwise, like I said, everyday experience to me was something I wanted to share with my friend. I have 2 blogs I've started in the last 14 days. Yes, one of them has 20,000 members, which is a cooperative for goats, a Facebook page. We are got other people who want to embrace it and sponsor it. So the love to do the radio, it's not going to doubt. But if you want to do it, this is a noble thing to do.
Wonderful.
If you want to do it.
Yeah.
This is a noble thing to do for the community. I've come to know people I probably never have known if I didn't do this.
Right, exactly.
So, yes.
Wonderful.
It has. I don't know. After maybe we, as they say at Ingawafwa, catalog kumulu. You go to heaven. God is going to take the list. Or you talk to this one. This was maybe we'll see how that list is going to go. So if you want to do this, it is a noble thing to do. However, it is not simple. We are not going to lie.
Absolutely. Uncle Nathan, I have a different question for you. Thank you so much, Uncle Roger. So insightful, so necessary. Uncle Nathan, just before we close, if you could invite anyone on the platform this year, who would it be?
I'm not, I'll answer it backwards and then tell you the reason. I'm not really a fan of politicians. But this person, I would love to speak to him because there are particular things I want to ask him. Okay. He's not a politician by nature, although he has become the 7th president of Zambia. If there is a person I want to interview, and since you've asked the question, we are working on it.
Wonderful.
Oh, by the way, he's been on this show before when he was in the opposition in the early days.
Wow. Yes, he has.
The only presidents that we didn't speak on this show, Roger, was what? Edgar Chagwalungu and FTJ, right? The rest we have spoken.
Well, FTJ, I don't think we had started by then.
He was supposed to come on. Remember when they lifted the immunity thing, blah, 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 then... KK came on 3 times.
Wonderful. Yeah.
The reason I would want to speak to HH is there are certain questions which I will not divulge that I have for him. In fact, my conversation with him would not take a political route. It would take a different direction, things to do with tenacity, things to do with persistence, things to do with staying the course. That's what I would like to talk to him about.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not really a fan of I don't even think I would make a very good politician because I don't have the patience.
I think you would.
No, I don't. Because let me...
We need another hour for that one, huh?
No, the reason I wouldn't make a very good politician is that everybody who has sat on any commission of inquiry in Zambia needs to return the money they were paid. To give you an idea. Those commissions of inquiry were nothing but money spinning ventures. I'm not a very good politician. A lot of people will get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, we have to come and make that.
So that's the person I'd really like to talk to. I've got some questions I need to ask him.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, we could go on because there's so much to cover. But we want to celebrate you and we want to thank you so much for what you have done, your work, your diligence. Thank you for your stories. I know there's so much more. And as time permits, we will come back and share more. And so we just want to say thank you to you and the team for what you are doing for Zambia and for people all around the world, because it could be, focusing on Zambia, but anybody who tunes in is learning something no matter where they are from. And to you, our viewers, we just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. And please don't forget to send a gift to these wonderful gentlemen, just telling them thank you for what they are doing and have done, and the lives that they are changing. So we have come to the top of our hour, and as much as we don't want to say goodbye, we have to. Time flies when you're having fun, and so thank you, gentlemen. Any closing words? 10 seconds each, and then we'll say goodbye to our audience.
Well, thank you, Dr. Scott, for what you have done for us today. Again, in 14 years, no one came across and said, "Oh, Vane, you are going to be in the hot seat. I am going to ask the questions, and we are just going to value the work you have done." Like Nathan said, you probably don't know what this really means to us. And indeed, an appeal to the entire community. Those who can find, if you can find a week, in a month, someone can come. I want to host a show. What do you want to talk about? Talk about anything you want. Yes. Nathan said it. We wanted to build a community radio, and the community radio can only survive with the support of the community.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
Let me reiterate Roger's point. We believe in giving credit. Everybody, this show you're watching right now, it wasn't our idea. It was the host's idea. Dr. Scott, she just put a gun to my head, and she said,
whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, we are going to do this. And Roger and I said, okay, we handed over. But my closing remarks would be, firstly, also to recognize and appreciate the non-Zambian diaspora community who have participated in this. We have a lot of other friends who are non-Zambians, who are also non-African, who believe and support this. I mean, what can we say to Dr. Patrick Wilson Roger? I mean, a phenomenal gentleman who has just been with us from the beginning. And of course, and I know I speak on behalf of my friend here, to our families, our wives and our children, they believe in us. They believe in this. They don't always watch the live broadcasts, but I know my wife always looks at the recorded show, and she's been part of the journey. We thank you. We love you, everybody, and thank you for the support over the years.
Yes. That is so wonderful. Well, thank you, gentlemen. God bless each of you. Godspeed ahead as you take this to the next level, deeper dimensions. We are with you. We support you, and we applauding you. To our audience, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, Saturday, with another exciting host who will be in the hot seat. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.